Many of you may have been to Germany and perhaps you learned a little German. That's great. And you can also use German when you're traveling in Switzerland. However, you should know that the German you learn, probably High German, is a bit of a foreign language in Switzerland. The Swiss call High German Schriftdütsch, meaning written German, because they use it for their formal written language. But they speak a Germanic dialect known as Schwiezerdütsch. Then the Schwiezerdütsch is something your average German would not understand at all. In fact, the Swiss German dialect changes as you go from region to region within Switzerland. It's a very small country. Not to mention that some Swiss also speak French or Italian or Romansh. Switzerland may be the craziest linguistic country in all of Europe, honestly. All of the Germanic regions of Europe, including Germany, Austria, Liechtenstein, Switzerland, and even small regions of France and Italy speak Germanic dialects. High German was kind of used to unify the various Germanic dialects so that there could be some mutual understanding among the various groups. So High German is a written language, and all the Germanic communities speak various intensities of dialects, some quite close to High German, and others almost incomprehensible to a High German speaker. So let's learn a little Schweizerdütsch, Swiss German, shall we? The first greeting is Grüezi. Try to say that with me, Grüezi. If you know a little German, you might have heard grüßen as the verb to greet, and it has a relationship to Grüezi. Obviously, you can hear that. But it's a little bit different. Grüezi. It means essentially I greet you. Grüezi. Say that again. Grüezi. Good. And then that's a formal greeting. If you were to come to somebody you don't really know that well, you might say Grüezi. If you go to a shop, say Grüezi. If you come to a group of people, however, the greeting changes a little bit. A group of people, you say Grüezi miteinander. Grüezi miteinander. And miteinander is the German word miteinander, which means all of you together. So you'd say, I greet all of you together. Grüezi miteinander. Grüezi miteinander. Now, if you are meeting your friends, the greeting changes a little bit. There's a very simple one, hoi. You can say hoi to your friends, or salut. Salut also works. So hoi or salut. And again, if you're meeting a group of friends, then you would say hoi zusammen. Hoi zusammen. And zusammen is the German word zusammen, which means together. So hello, all of you together. Hoi zusammen. Now, you're going to use probably every morning, if you're on a trip to Switzerland, you'll probably use this. Guten Morgen. Guten Morgen. That's good morning, of course. You probably already hear it because it's very similar to English, or it's certainly similar to German. Guten Morgen. Guten Morgen. That's good morning. And again, if you're greeting a group of people, you'd say Guten Morgen miteinander. Guten Morgen miteinander. That's how you say good morning to a group of people. So try that once with me again. Let's do it as a group of people. Guten Morgen miteinander. Say that again. Guten Morgen miteinander. Good. Okay, now how about good evening? You might want to use good evening when you greet people in the late afternoon or early evening. That greeting is Guten Abend. Guten Abend. Guten Abend. Try that again. Guten Abend. And again, if you're greeting a group of people, Guten Abend miteinander. Try to remember that. And then for leaving and going to bed at night, you'd say Gute Nacht. Gute Nacht. Now you'll notice if you know a little German, Nacht is also a German word. But the Swiss, hear the difference? Nacht in High German and Nacht in Swiss German. It's a much harder guttural ch sound. Gute Nacht. Good. Now, how about how are you? That's a good phrase to know when you're meeting somebody. For your friends, you're probably going to say, hey, how are you? And what is that in Swiss German? Well, it's wie geht's. Wie geht's. And the response, mir geht's gut. Mir geht's gut. So let's try that together. Wie geht's. That's how are you? Wie geht's. And the response, mir geht's gut. Mir geht's gut. Good. I hope you're getting this. It's a bit of a tongue twister, really, to try to get through some Swiss German. You might also add thank you afterwards. Mir geht's gut. Danke. Wie geht's dir? How are you? Wie geht's dir? Mir geht's gut, danke. Wie geht's dir? I'm good. How are you? Thank you. Another way to say thank you in Swiss is merci. And those of you who know a little French are recognizing it comes right out of French. Merci. Or if you say thank you very much, merci vielmal. Merci vielmal. So that's another way to say that as well. Okay, how do you say goodbye? Well, there's a formal way to say it and a more informal way to say it. The formal way to say it is auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen. That's literally until we see each other again. Auf Wiedersehen. It's the same as in German, if you know some German, auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen. But the Swiss say auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen. Now, if you're saying goodbye to friends, you might want to be more informal, so use tschüss. Tschüss. It's a very simple way to say goodbye. Tschüss. Try to say that. Tschüss. Or, because of the Italian influence, you can simply say ciao. Or if it's a group of your buddies and you're leaving, you say ciao zusammen. Ciao zusammen. Oh, I can see you later, all of you together. So that's a great way to say goodbye. Ciao. And that's used in many places, actually, in Europe. Ciao. But coming from Italy. Yes and no, very simple words. Ja and nein. Those of you who know German, it's ja und nein. But in Swiss German, ja, a little further in the throat, and nein. Ja, nein. And then again, danke. Same as in German, danke. But in Swiss German, it's a little further back in the throat, danke. And the response is bitte. Bitte. Okay, let's have a little fun now. I want to teach you a Swiss German tongue twister. Now listen, if you can master this, you will impress your Swiss German host to no end. I tell you, they will be absolutely floored if you can practice this. And it's quite difficult. Now, we already talked a little bit about how Swiss German's kind of a little bit more in the back of the throat, so you're going to need that. You're going to need that tool in order to do this German tongue twister, especially this sound, huh, huh. Can you say that? Huh, huh. It's all the way back. You kind of put the back of your throat together and breathe air through it. Huh, huh. And the more you can get, the better it's going to be. So let's try this Swiss German tongue twister. Here it is. Listen very carefully. De goch usam chaiba chuchi cheshli. De goch usam chaiba chuchi cheshli. Let's try that slowly. And what does it mean, first of all? Maybe that'll help you. It means simply this. The cook cooked kraut from, actually this is a little bit of a swear word that maybe we should take out, from the darned kitchen cabinet. That's the meaning of this thing. But the Swiss love to try to get non-Swiss to say this. So let's try it again. De goch roet usam chaiba chuchi cheshli. De gocht roet usam chaiba chuchi cheshli. De goch roet usam chaiba chuchi cheshli. Now, if you will practice that and be ready for your trip to Switzerland, you could go up to anybody on the street, anybody, your host in a house or wherever you are, the waiter at the table, and just say, de goch roet usam chaiba chuchi cheshli, and they will be absolutely floored. As a matter of fact, they're probably going to think you're Swiss. So have fun with that and enjoy your time in Switzerland.